Elder Maxson?
Outstanding work at Fort Strong, soldier. It was a piece of cake. I'm glad you feel that way. Because it only gets more difficult from here. In order to bring the Institute to its knees, we need to use every weapon at our disposal. I try to supply my soldiers with the best. That's why I'm giving you these. Signal grenades can call a vertibird to your location when you need aerial transport. Simply throw one to the ground, and the vertibird will hone in on the unique electromagnetic smoke it emits. Once you're aboard, use the map on your Pip-Boy to interface.
Shut up. The best weapon for survival out here is a pocket full of caps.
Signal grenades are usually reserved for our paladins. In your case, you should be grateful that I'm making an exception. Now, I'm sure you're aware that Fort Strong was simply the first step towards the liberation of the Commonwealth. An even greater task lies ahead. By now, I'm sure you've deduced that our arrival in the Commonwealth wasn't coincidental. We're here because of a unique energy reading recorded by Paladin Dance's recon team. According to our scribes, the reading indicated a level of technology that only the Institute could achieve. The moment this information hit the Institute, and everyone responsible for the creation of the synths, must be eliminated at all costs. To accomplish this goal, we need to locate the Institute's headquarters. I've had our scribes meticulously searching the Commonwealth.
Whatever. Sounds like you're gonna have me crawling through the sewers now.
It could be the sewers, the transit tunnels, or maybe an old vault. We just don't have enough information right now. I want you to get out there and become our eyes and ears on the ground. You seem to have a vested interest in locating the Institute before we met, so I'm confident you'll travel in the right circles. If you discover a way in, I need you to report it to me immediately. Any questions, Knight?
Not right now, Elder.
Very well then. Dismissed.
Proximity sensor's green. Getting a 3-second ping back.
If you find any technical documents, you should... bring them to proc...
Nice day, huh?
Chumming around with a merc, huh? I don't want no trouble on my beat.
24-hour service! Only at Diamond City Surplus!
Come on, Nikki. I'm just asking for your opinion. It'd be a great quote.
He's my client, Piper. Why don't you learn not to snoop on a man's private affairs?
Well, well, speak of the devil.
You're back. And not with your son. What happened?
I didn't make it in time. Kellogg was working with the Institute, and he gave them Sean.
The Institute? Oh, boy.
I'm sorry, friend. Truly. That makes things considerably more complicated.
He ain't kidding. Heck, Nick's a synth, and even he doesn't know how to get in.
No synth does. Secure.
Nice hat. Oh, Mr. Metal for Hands doesn't know how to get back to the factory.
No. I skipped that part of the orientation film while they were busy pulling me apart and putting me back together again.
Blah,
Look,
blah, blah.
The sad thing is, I have no idea.
I've been investigating these creeps for over a year now. The Commonwealth's boogeyman. Feared and hated by everyone.
True enough.
Sometimes they snatch people in the middle of the night, and sometimes they leave old synths behind to remind us that they're out there, but to this day, there's one thing nobody really knows.
Where the Institute actually is. Or how to get in.
Exactly.
Okay.
But there's one person who has to know, right? The guy who just handed them Sean.
Kellogg. Huh.
Whatever you're thinking, it doesn't matter. He's dead.
Yeah. Figures the Institute's only man on the outside wouldn't be the type to be taken alive.
So, a murderer and a kidnapper gets his brains blown out by an avenging parent. Huh. Be a great ending if we didn't still have the biggest mystery in the Commonwealth to solve.
Doesn't matter what he knew. I'd kill him again in a heartbeat.
Gets his brains blown out. Huh. His brains. You know, we may not need the man at all.
You're talking crazy here, Nick. Got a fault in the old subroutines?
Look, there's a place in Good Neighbor called the Memory Den.
Blah,
If anyone could get a dead brain to sing, it'll be Dr. Amari, the mind behind the memories.
I don't know, Nick. That seems a little out there.
You're talking to a synth. I am a little out there. Just stay with me on this. Let's see, I guess we're gonna need a piece of Kellogg's brain. Enough gray matter to bring to Amari and find out if this is going to work.
Jesus, Nick. Gross. Seriously?
I know it's grisly, but what choice do we have?
Enough. I'm gonna need a really sharp ice cream scoop.
I'm sure you'll manage.
Whether we're riding this crazy brain train or not, we can't all go running across the Commonwealth, so who's coming with you?
I have to go to the Memory Den either way, if I'm gonna...
Enough. I already have someone with me. I'll meet you there, Nick.
All right, see you at the den. Don't worry. We're gonna get your boy back.
Well, you two are out. I'm gonna do...
Ugh.
You're listening to, Diamond City Radio. If
Hey.
you're listening at all.
Yeah, what is it?
Hey there.
So,
If
you
anyone
impressed yet?
is
told
listening,
you I was a
in
damn good
fact,
shot.
If you're not, this is the ink spots.
I don't know. I haven't really noticed.
Oh, come on. You've got skills. I'm sure you know talent when you see it.
Yeah, I suppose so.
There you go. That wasn't too hard to admit, was it? I'm completely self-taught, you know. Picked up a sniper rifle when I was 10 and never looked back. Always thought it was smarter to hit my targets at long range. I mean, why take chances, right? Besides, I had to come up with every trick in the book to survive the Capital Wasteland.
I'm sure your parents were thrilled about your hobby.
Never knew my parents. Lived underground in a place called Little Lamplight with a bunch of other kids. Left there when I was around 16. We kind of had a policy there. No adults. When you were 16, you packed up and left. I know, it sounds crazy, but having adults around was something we couldn't trust.
That sounds ridiculous.
Maybe, but it kept the colony alive for a couple hundred years. Anyway, when I hit 16, I ended up wandering the Capital Wasteland for a while. I took the odd job here and there, but things were pretty hot with the Brotherhood of Steel running the show. So I hitched a ride with a caravan and made my way north until I ended up here. Made a pretty decent name for myself before I heard that the gunners needed some sharpshooters. Biggest mistake of my life. They were animals. Killed anything that moved if it got in their way. I went with it for a while because the caps were good, but I don't know. I guess it started to catch up with me. So I quit, which pretty much brings us to now. So there you have it. My whole life in a nutshell.
Sounds like the road can be a lonely place. Until you meet someone to share it with.
I never thought of it that way. Maybe that's why I feel so comfortable telling you all this. Look, I know I tend to be a pain in the ass. I know I tend to be arrogant and I come off like I want to be alone. Nothing could be further from the truth. Being alone scares the heck out of me. Now that we've been traveling together for a while, I'm beginning to realize how much I missed having someone I could depend on. I just wanted you to know that I'm going to do everything I can to see that it stays this way. Well, that's all I had to say. Hope you got something out of all that. I know I did.